Howdy, folks. I'm Pouting Pluto, pushing playful pantomiming potatoes.
I'm Amber, who is internally cringing, but not from Pluto over here from my book.
And here's some more pantomiming potatoes for us to push. You can see that we did decide to do Pluto, even though it is a dwarf planet now. Sad Pluto is pouting because it isn't a real planet. Alright, folks, our first letter is titled, Am I the Jerk for Refusing to Apologize to My Boyfriend for an Inappropriate Comment? I'm a 23-year-old female, and my boyfriend Jake, a 25-year-old male, have known each other for 2 years, and we've been together for 5 months. The problem started 2 nights ago when we were together at my place watching Star Wars. Since we had both not seen it before, we were chatting and making jokes throughout. About halfway in, Jake made a comment about how pretty Padme was and how the silk nightdress was his favorite outfit. I also think that Natalie Portman is pretty, so I agreed, but said that my favorite was the lakeside dress. In response to this, Jake gave me a weird look and pulled away. I thought that it was odd, but I brushed it off. For the rest of the movie, Jake barely responded to any of my comments and pulled out his phone to scroll through Twitter instead of watching. By the time the movie was over, I admittedly was kind of annoyed, so I asked him what was wrong. He ignored my question and started gathering his things. I followed him and asked again, as our plan had been to sleep at mine and get breakfast in the morning before work. Once he had gathered all of his things, he finally replied. Basically, Jake said that I had made him uncomfortable with my comment about Natalie Portman. He said that it was gross, and he didn't feel like I should be making sexual comments about other females. He said that he didn't want to stay the night. Finally, he yelled at me, saying that I should know why he's upset. I was absolutely baffled, and ended up just letting him leave. I'm bisexual. My only other serious relationship was with another woman, let's call her Katie, a 24-year-old female, during my first years of university. We broke up amicably about 2 months before the party where I met Jake as she moved back to her home country. Jake knows all this about me. We met at a pride party where I explicitly told him that I was bisexual. During the months of texting, it was mentioned and acknowledged by us multiple times. On one of our first dates, we talked about past relationships and I told him about Katie. Jake is straight, but he knew when we started dating, and he told me that it didn't matter to him, and he was just happy to be together. This is why I was so confused by his reaction. The next day, we talked on the phone, and I asked him to explain what was so wrong about what I said. He kept saying that it was inappropriate, that I should know why he's upset. I started getting frustrated, and I asked him why I was wrong, and yet why it was fine when he, in essence, said the exact same thing. The only difference is the dress, and which one we thought was better. I asked him if it was because I'm attracted to women, but he denied. I said that I was sorry, he was uncomfortable, but I was not going to apologize because I don't think I said anything wrong. He hung up and hasn't talked to me since. Our friends group are pretty split, with some saying that I'm the jerk and I should just apologize, and others saying that I'm not the jerk. He was acting weird and I didn't say anything wrong. Alright folks, what do you think? Jerk? Not the jerk?
Not the jerk, and what kind of double standard nonsense is this? Like, I see 2 possibilities. Either one, he's some flavor of queerphobic and doesn't like the thought of you being attracted to other women. Or 2, it's just a misogynistic double standard where he can ogle other people and talk about that, but you can't. And neither of those is good.
You know, I think, OP, there's a couple things you should do here. First, drop Jake. 2, drop this other half of the friends group that you're split with. What? How is this inappropriate? People make comments on how pretty or not pretty people's clothes are. And you didn't even comment on Natalie Portman herself. You just said, oh, I really like this dress. This isn't even inappropriate on any level.
Right.
Like, if you had started making some really crude comments about her and saying all kinds of stuff that was made him uncomfortable about her, then I might think that's a little bit different, because sometimes people don't really want to.
Well, yeah, and some people do have a relationship boundary of, neither of us can talk in an intimate way about other people, and that's fine and valid. But first of all, yeah, you both were talking about her looking pretty in certain dresses, which doesn't seem inherently intimate.
Yeah.
And secondly, it needs to apply equally to both people. So if it's fine for him to comment on this, then it needs to be equally fine for you two.
Yeah. I really don't know where he's getting off here. This just feels like a very bad hill to die on. And I would say that this is kind of a blessing in disguise, because he's showing you who he is.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really what this boils down to, OP. So count yourself lucky. But let me know what you folks think. Should OP apologize, or should she cut Jake off?
Cut him off.
Anyhow, take care and good luck. And Kitten1412 says, you're not the jerk. While it may be true that some people see making sexual comments about other people's attractiveness as a boundary, this man clearly doesn't, because he thinks it's okay for him to look at other women and not for you to. Sounds like he's biphobic. You know how some people think that bi should just pick, or that being in a committed relationship makes you straight or gay rather than bi. He's only okay with you having been bi before dating you, not continuing to be bi in any way that's visible to him. And First Lengthiness 16 says, being biphobic is a bit of a stretch. Perhaps he felt insecure in the same way that a woman might feel insecure if her hetero boyfriend made an appreciative comment about a woman in a film that they were watching.
Well, but if that's the case, then he shouldn't be making those same types of comments.
Yeah, exactly. And OP replies, I didn't think about it this way, so maybe you're right. And Little 500 Honda CBR says, Jake says he's cool with dating and loving a bisexual woman. Also, Jake, it's not actually cool with dating and loving a bisexual woman. Sorry, OP, it looks like you gotta drop Jake back in the pool and find someone who accepts your whole self, including your past and the lakeside dress. Not the jerk. And don't you dare apologize. You did nothing wrong. Alright folks, our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for throwing my friend out of my wedding because she was wearing a white wedding dress even though I didn't wear white? I'm a 25-year-old female, and I got married last Saturday. It was a small wedding with less than 100 people. We got married in a church and held a reception at a nice hotel. The ceremony went well, apart from some weird looks from the priest, which I later found out was because my friend S, a 25-year-old female, apparently they had an argument when he saw her enter wearing a white dress, white puffy skirt, and a jeweled corset, and thought that she was a bride that had gotten her dates confused. He knows me and my family. She sat in the back, so I didn't see her until it was time to take photos, and she came to me. When I saw her, I was horrified, and I asked her what she was thinking. Her answer was that she figured that she can wear white since I wasn't wearing white. Info. I was planning on buying a white wedding dress, but I gave up after looking for 2 months. The cheap ones wouldn't have lasted the night, and the nice ones were too expensive to justify. Around the same amount that we pay for our house loan for a year. After doing some research, I fell in love with a traditional wedding dress, and paid some grannies that make this kind of dress to make me a one plus a traditional veil. I got mad and had my uncle throw her out, and later had my cousins watch out for her during the reception. I stopped worrying about it during the reception because I was having fun, but I noticed that my friend was missing. I didn't know anything was wrong until Monday when I checked my phone to post some pictures of the beach, when I saw many messages from S and other friends saying that I was a B for throwing her out and humiliating her, a bridezilla, and that it wasn't a big deal since I didn't wear white. Our group chat has turned into a war zone, with people defending me while others say that I overreacted. My husband hasn't been any help at all, and tells me that I need to drop S as a friend since she's a mean girl spinster, best possible translation, or that I should turn off my phone and enjoy our honeymoon. So, am I the jerk for throwing my friend out and humiliating her? Alright folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
Not the jerk. If you're looking so bridal that the officiant is confused, then you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, I think that's really what it boils down to. And again, if you want to wear white at a wedding, this is something that you absolutely have to clear with the bride.
Right. It seems like she knew this wasn't going to go over well with OP. If the husband is right about her being kind of a queen mean girl, she may have done this intentionally.
Mm-hmm.
And then like, oh, I thought it was okay because you're not wearing white. Like,
Yeah.
no, that's not okay.
Yeah, it does feel very mean girl-like. And I can't blame OP for being upset, especially since she really wanted to wear a white wedding dress to begin with, and she just couldn't afford it. So this is just kind of like adding insult to injury at a certain point. Like, she can wear the white dress that OP wanted to wear.
Yeah, well, and then she would look like the bride in all the pictures and everything, which I get why OP wouldn't want that. Like, it's not a nice thing. And again, when in doubt, consult the bride and groom.
Yeah. And I think that's actually a really good point that Amber makes, is that she would actually look like the bride in many of the pictures because she's going to be the one wearing white, and they're going to be like, why are you at someone else's wedding when you look back at those photos, right? So not good at all. But let me know what you folks think. Anyhow, take care and good luck. And Chicken Buck 22 says, not the jerk, listen to your husband. Drop her and any friends that defend her. Those aren't your friends. Signed under duress says, girl had a jeweled corset. She knew what she was doing. OP, do your friends know your other friend wore a wedding dress to your wedding without permission? If so, time to cut them loose. And Prudent Plan 6451 says, really, it sounds like her husband is giving her excellent advice. Turn off your phone, get off of Reddit, and enjoy your honeymoon. Alright folks, and our last letter is titled, Am I the Jerk for Expecting Servers to Speak English? I'm a 20-year-old female, and currently traveling with two of my friends. We're spending a few days in different European cities. The friends that I'm traveling with are my university friends, Neves, 16-year-old female from Spain, and Carolina, 20, who is from Poland. We're currently in Warsaw, and Carolina speaks Polish. So, when we got to a restaurant earlier today, she ordered for us in Polish, and the server only interacted with her. I found it incredibly rude. I told Carolina to never do that again, and that the server should learn English and serve us in English. She told me that I was being ridiculous as we went to a small independent restaurant away from the tourist area, and that there's no need for the server to know English as their customers are mostly Polish or Ukrainian. I said that it didn't matter because it's an international language and they're just being lazy. I asked Carolina to stop speaking Polish so that the servers would have to make an effort and include me as well, and she said that she will not stop speaking her language in her home country, and it makes our travels easier, and I need to go on my own if I want to speak English to the locals. Carolyn called me a jerk. I asked Neves for her opinion, and she agreed with Carolyn, and it really confused me. I thought that she would be on my side, but she said that the same thing would happen in Spain, and I had to deal with that. The world doesn't revolve around me. Neves said also that she would be speaking Spanish in Spain to make our time easier. I told them that they were mean and I lost my appetite, and I came back to my hotel room on my own. I expected them to follow me, but they stayed, and now they posted photos from what they are doing, and it's really hurtful. They refuse to understand my predicament and how xenophobic they are being, and it makes me want to go home. I texted them and said how hurtful they were. They texted back, deal with it, jerk. And I'm currently crying in my hotel room, and I called my sister, who surprisingly agreed with them. And I don't get it. Was I really the jerk? It doesn't make any sense when they're the ones who ditched me. Am I the jerk? Alright folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
Yes, you're the jerk. There is nothing xenophobic about people speaking their own language in their home countries. Spoiler alert. The world does not revolve around you, around Americans generally, or English speakers generally. Yes, there are a lot of things that are catered to us, but there are lots of things that are not. And if you choose to go into a place where English is not the primary language, you can expect a lot of people are not going to be speaking English.
Yeah, well, how about this, OP? Why don't you take some time and stop being lazy and learn how to speak these other languages? Like Amber said, you need to stop viewing the world as having to cater to you. Your friends didn't ditch you, you ditched your friends. You're the one who left the restaurant, you're the one who threw a temper tantrum. So you left. They didn't ditch you. they also gave you a perfectly fine suggestion and said that if you want to speak English, then go off on your own into the English-speaking areas. So there are going to be areas of this place that will speak English, and it sounds like that's what she was telling you to do. But let me know what you folks think. Am I being too harsh on OP, or should OP grow up?
Definitely OP needs to grow up.
So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Kashhaya72 says, "You're the jerk. I know you would like to think that everyone in the world speaks English, but newsflash, they don't. A lot of people in Eastern Europe, like Poland, have not had the same opportunities for education and privilege like you do. So get over yourself and apologize and try to make the best of the rest of your vacation." And OP replies, "Dude, at least educate yourself. People in Poland learn 2 foreign languages since primary school."
But that doesn't necessarily mean they're learning English if that's true. Like, there's lots of foreign languages.
And Alex Mellis says, "You're the jerk and entitled as well. I would have left you too. Your friends are right." And OP replies, "You'd leave a young woman alone in a foreign country?"
I mean, these are your same age friends. They're not your parents or guardians or something. You chose to go have a temper tantrum. It just sounds like OP's very self-centered and wants everything catered to her.
Yeah. And David says, "This is satire, right? You're the jerk." And OP replies, "No, why would it be satire?" All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber, she's got a joke.
Why did the tree go to the dentist?
Well, I can tell you exactly why the tree went to the dentist. Because they were planning a coup with Bernard the Unhinged.
To get a root canal.
To get a root canal? That makes sense. That's actually a pretty clever joke.
Although I wonder how many, 8 to 10-year-olds or whatever the target audience for this book is know what root canals are.
Mom, what's a root canal? Yeah.
Maybe I was, I think it's a good joke. It's fun, but I feel like when I was that age, I had no idea what a root canal was.
Yeah, I would have not had any idea. You would have to explain it. And at that point in time, is it a funny joke? And I have licorice spice. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Happy, special, spectacular Saturday. That's what day it is. I hope you're all having a great weekend, and I hope it's going well for you folks so far. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance, and please have it a sarcastic apology letter to someone who ruined your wedding.
Dear ex-friend, I am so sorry that our priest mistook you for the bride because your dress was that bridal.
Yeah. That's a good apology. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you all tomorrow.
Bye.